About 2/3 of everything humans say to each other is in one form or another centered around other people. Not the weather, not work, not news. People. Who did what, who's with whom, and whether they should be. We have a word for that, and it isn't a kind one. We call it gossip, and we treat it like a character flaw. Something sophisticated, smarter people are supposed to rise above. But when you trace where gossip actually comes from, it doesn't look like a flaw at all. It looks like one of the reasons human societies ever got big enough to build anything. So why are we wired to talk about each other? And why does the thing we're told not to do feel so good? To understand human gossip, we have to start somewhere that sounds completely unrelated. Monkeys picking through each other's fur. If you watch a troop of baboons or a group of chimps, you'll see them spend hours a day grooming. One sits while another goes through their coat, cleaning out dirt and parasites. It looks like hygiene. It's mostly not. Grooming is how a lot of primates hold their relationships together. It's their social glue. Sitting still and letting another animal handle you is a small act of trust, repeated daily, and it's how alliances get built and kept. Here's the catch. Grooming only works one-on-one. You can clean exactly one friend at one time, and it takes a while. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar knows what that means. As a primate group gets bigger, every member needs to maintain more relationships, which means more grooming, which eats up more time. At some point, the math breaks. A group can only get so large before there simply isn't enough hours in the day to groom everyone you need to be on your side. For most primates, that ceiling is the end of the story. The group can't grow past what is needed to hold the group together. Humans didn't have this problem. We live in groups of hundreds, thousands, even millions. So somewhere along the line, our ancestors found a workaround. Dunbar's argument is that workaround was talking. This is the heart of the theory, and it's a strange but brilliant idea. Dunbar suggested that language evolved, at least in part, as a replacement for grooming, a way to do the same bonding, but faster and on more people at once. Think about what conversation can do that grooming can't. You can groom 3 or 4 people at the same time, just by talking with them over a meal. You can do it while your hands are busy doing something else. And you can bond with someone who isn't even in the room by talking to them. And what do people actually talk about when you measure it? Not abstract ideas, they talk about each other. Dunbar and his colleagues sat in on ordinary conversations and found that approximately 65% of the time was spent on social topics. Who's doing what? Who's up? Who's down? Who can be trusted? That's gossip. And under this theory, gossip isn't the lazy version of conversation. It's the original purpose of it. There's a number that comes out of this work that you may have heard before. Dunbar estimated that the natural size of a human social group, the number of people you can hold a real, stable relationship, sits around 150. Grooming could never hold a group of 150 people together. There aren't enough hours in the day, but talk certainly can. Gossip is how humans maintain a social circle far larger than our hands ever could. So gossip bonds us, but it does a second job that's just as important, and it's the one that makes cooperation possible at scale. Picture living in a group of 150 people. You cannot personally test every relationship in a group that size. You can't lend money to all of them to find out who pays you back, or trust all of them with a secret to find out who keeps it. You'd run out of money and secrets long before you ran out of people. Gossip solves this problem. It lets you learn who's trustworthy without having to be burned by them yourself. Someone cheats a member of the group and word travels fast. Now everyone knows, including the people the cheater has never met. That's a quiet superpower. It means reputation can move faster than the person can. You can walk into a room of people who've never seen you act, and they already have a sense of who you are because others have been talking. And this turns gossip into a kind of police force without police. If breaking rules gets you talked about, and being talked about costs you allies, then the threat of gossip keeps people in line. You behave partly because you know others are watching, and you know the watching gets repeated. Researchers have a name for the helpful version of this. The psychologist Matthew Feinberg and his colleagues call it prosocial gossip, warning others about someone who behaved badly specifically to protect the group. In their experiments, people would pass that warning along even when it cost them something to do it. And you don't have to go back to ancient villages to watch this in action. It's happening on people's phones right now. There are Facebook groups called Are We Dating the Same Guy?, where women in a city pool what they know about the men they're seeing and flag the ones who've lied or cheated. That's the reputation machine with a login. The same instinct that once protected a group of 150 now stretches across a whole city and even states. TikTok runs the bigger, harsher version. A business treats a customer badly, a video goes up, and within a day, the story reaches people who never set foot in that establishment. Getting cancelled is the modern-day crucifixion by gossip, which complicates the whole gossip is bad idea. Some of the time, the person spreading is doing the wider group a huge favor. Now to the part everyone recognizes. The irresistible way, can I tell you something, makes a whole table lean in. There seems to be something in how our brains are built that makes information about other people grab our attention. Negative information especially. One study found that hearing negative gossip about a face actually changed how people's eyes locked into that face afterwards. The gossip literally changed how they saw the person. For most of human history, the most important and most dangerous things in your environment weren't predators or the weather, they were other people. Knowing who was angry, who was scheming, who had just gained power, that was survival information. A brain that's paying attention is a brain that keeps its owner alive. So we're drawn to it. And at the very same time, nearly every culture on earth tells us it's wrong. That's the strange double life of gossip. It's universally practiced and yet universally condemned. Religions warn against it, etiquette books scold it, parents tell children not to do it. The irony is, condemning gossip is actually gossip itself. When you say she's such a gossip, you're actually gossiping. You're passing information about someone's character to protect the group from them. The rule against gossip is enforced by gossip itself. There's one more clue hiding inside the word itself. Gossip comes from the Old English word godsib, God plus sib, meaning kin. A godsib was a godparent, someone spiritually related to you, close family friend, a person you trusted with a child. So the word started by meaning your closest companions. Over the centuries, it drifted. First, to friends of women invited to be with her during childbirth, then to the talk those women did together, and finally to the talk itself regardless of gender, stripped of the trust and treated as idle chatter. That drift tells its own story. The talk got relabeled from intimacy between trusted friends to idle, slightly shameful chatter, usually associated with women. The behavior didn't change, but the judgment of it did, which fits everything else we've seen. We took the most fundamental social tool humans have, the talk that bonds us and keeps us honest, and we gave it the lowest status name we could find. Gossip is the thing we're constantly told not to do, yet we've never managed to stop doing it. And the reason we can't stop it is that it isn't a habit, it's part of our operating system. It's how our ancestors held groups together when there were too many hands to hold. It's how we figure out who to trust before trust gets tested. It's how species that can barely keep track of 150 names built cities of millions. We didn't invent talking about each other because we're petty. We're here because somewhere back down the line, the ones who talked about each other survived a little bit longer than the ones who didn't. So the next time someone leans in and says, "Did you hear?" don't feel bad at all. That's 3 million years of human evolution, and it would go against your instinct not to listen. Thank you for watching. If you like learning the hidden reasons behind why we do the things we do every day without thinking, subscribe to my channel. There's a new video every week, and I'm curious, what's a human habit you've always assumed was just a bad one? Drop it in the comments or in the community tab, and it might turn into the topic of our next video. See you next time, and until then, feel free to talk about me.